Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation, with some exciting news for some, and for others, not so much so. The United States Mint will redesign the gold and silver American Eagles and implement security devices. Let's explore. This comes to us from Coin World magazine, posted on October the 11th, 2019. Fascinating indeed. Now, we had talked about this before and about the 3 different levels of security that will be implemented with the American Gold and Silver Eagles. And we'll explore this article and see what's involved in this process. The United States Mint is moving ahead with plans to redesign the reverses of the silver and gold American Eagles for 2021 to accommodate the use of anti-counterfeiting technology at the production stage. So this is an important sentence because the classic designs for the obverses of these coins will not be changed. So in other words, the St. Gaudens and Adolph Weinman versions that we see on the gold and silver American Eagles will remain the same. Secretary of Treasury Steven Mnuchin has given the Mint the green light to replace the designs which have appeared on the coins since the release in 1986, and the obverses will continue to remain on the coins. We are planning a redesign of the American Eagle silver and gold coins in honor of the 35th anniversary of the American Eagle program. The details of the design will be announced in the near future. There is currently no plan to redesign the American Eagle Platinum or Palladium coin, says Todd Martin, acting chief for the Mint's Office of Corporate Communications. The redesigned reverses will be introduced first on bullion releases dated 2021. The anti-counterfeiting measures will be introduced later on the proof and other collector versions. So that is fascinating that they're going to try to find a way to implement them on the other collector versions, but it may be later on. Who knows? 2022, 2023. Since the early days of the Republic, the Mint has been very sensitive to the threat of counterfeiting, Martin said. Well, I guess in some ways that might be true, but you could have fooled me. We have made progress in developing state-of-the-art anti-counterfeiting measures for bullion coins. I'll stop right there, and I will say that, yes, since David Ryder came on board, now you're starting to make, but it hasn't happened before when they have plenty of ample opportunity to do so. The sentence continues, and are prepared to implement changes that will enhance the security of the gold and silver bullion coin program. I think it's a mistake to not do something with the obverses. You can still honor those classic designs and find some way to put in overt security features on the obverses, which are the sides that people look at the most on coins, especially these coins. Martin said Mint Director David J. Ryder has assembled an anti-counterfeiting interdisciplinary team within the Mint that is researching and reviewing both overt and covert options to enhance the protection of our bullion products. In addition to improving anti-counterfeiting measures, we are reaching out to educate and inform the numismatic community and consumers about potential counterfeits, thus ensuring continued confidence in our bullion products for years to come. The American Eagle Silver Dollar's heraldic eagle reverse was rendered by U.S. Mint sculptor engraver John Mercanti, who retired as chief engraver in 2010. You've also went on to see his work for other mints, most notably the Perth Mint, with the wedge-tailed eagle series. The family of eagles motif legislated for the gold American Eagle reverse was contributed by sculptor Miley Busiek, now Miley Busiek Frost. And we'll take a look at those designs here in just a moment. Other mints have acted. The Royal Canadian Mint employs its DNA technology on its maple leaf precious metal coins. Its website states every die used to produce the gold and silver maple leafs is laser micro engraved with an anti-counterfeiting security mark. A textured maple leaf. Our registration process, digital non-destructive activation, DNA technology, captures images encrypted with a string of codes and stores these in our secure database. I think that's pretty clever. My guess is we may have something like that for the gold and silver eagles. Using a specialized device secured from the Royal Canadian Mint, approved bullion DNA dealers can verify the authenticity of registered gold and silver maple leaf programs. That'll be probably the second phase of the overt or semi-covert technology. Now, there's 3 phases for what David Ryder talked about in a recent interview with Coin Week for what's going on. We have overt and covert, and that covert is broken into 2 parts, essentially. The first phase will be probably something like this, what the Royal Canadian Mint has. In other words, a device that will be able to verify based off of the dies that a particular coin is legitimate and genuine. But the third phase is secret, which means that only the Secret Service knows and can detect whether or not coins are genuine or not. And if that is the case, that might be something that might be different than all the other mints out there if they can find a way to do that. To where if they do find some sophisticated method that can fool the semi-overt and covert phase using these approved bullion DNA dealers or whatever the mint uses, then you have this other technology that can be able to verify. In 2007, the Royal Canadian Mint introduced the DNA technology for products of the $1 and $2 circulating coins. That's interesting. The Royal Mint in Great Britain introduced in 2017 its Integrated Secure Identification Systems technology, which reportedly cost more than £2 million and took 4 years to develop for use in production of the circulating £1 coin. It is not publicly known what level of security the United States Mint is pursuing in its anti-counterfeiting campaign, although we got a hint of it with the interview that I mentioned earlier, and I posted a video about that a while back, by the way. In its anti-counterfeiting campaign to battle the influx of counterfeit American eagles into the numismatic market, primarily from China, which is, by the way, I hope that these trade talks will include cracking down on these counterfeiting measures that have been going on in China. It's pervasive. But even as such, the American Eagles is the most popular gold and silver bullion program in the world today. And so this is long overdue for sure. Yes, indeed. So it'll be quite fascinating to see. Let's take a closer look here at the reverse of this, of the gold eagle. Now, to me, of the 4 designs that we see on the gold and silver American eagles for the obverse and reverses, this is, in my view, the worst. It does not match the detail of the obverse of the coin, I think, at all. The idea is nice, but I just, for some reason, it just doesn't. I think the mother and little baby bald eagle here, I think, are too kind of too close together. They're kind of just melding into one. The detail is not very. It's more smooth, whereas sharp on the obverse, as you can see here. This is, I believe, a sharper design than the obverse and the reverse here. So I'm looking forward to see what that new design is. I hope it's a complete redesign of this particular motif here. But that's just me. Other people like the design here. But this side will remain the same, and I do believe they should put a privy or something on here. In my view, they should redesign it completely and come up with an iconic version of Lady Liberty that's fresh and new. Now, that's the thing. People will always criticize it no matter what. In fact, if you go back to 1907 when this came out, my guess, if today was if the internet was around in 1907, people would probably be complaining that Lady Liberty's got her foot propped up on this rock. What the heck is up with that? or they may say it looks strange with her arm. It looks like she's got a very short arm here. People will find a way to kind of criticize anything in that regard. But nonetheless, it is what it is. This has become an iconic, classic design for the American Gold Eagle, for sure. And so there it is. So there's that reverse. This will be changed. It'd be interesting to see what they come up with, and technologically as well. And again, I can't stress enough that I do think they ought to do something on the obverse of this, something that can be quickly and easily identified, because that's the side people see the most. People naturally view the front of the coin first. And this design is, since it's so popular with the program, it is the side that, especially if you need to move quickly and process these quickly, this is something you need to be able to see something that's going to stick out, that's going to make it legitimate. So I think they're making a mistake there, but that's just me. And then we have the American Silver Eagle here, and same thing, a very classic design. Adolph Weinman's Walking Liberty, as seen on the $50. Very good, and again, I believe there are things that they could do here to preserve the classic design, but also to make it easily recognizable overtly. But what will change is the reverse. Now, I like this eagle. However, I do think in some ways to match the continuity of the obverse, I think it ought to be kind of run into the design, almost kind of like what you would see on the $50, on the Walking Liberty $50. Maybe not necessarily sitting down, but some version of the eagle that can be showcased, where the design kind of runs to the edge of the coin. And it'll be fascinating. It is an exciting time. We will not see these changes until the year 2021, which is that 35th anniversary. I think that's appropriate. But we won't see it with the collective versions for some time later. But very interesting, incredible, exciting news in many ways. Obviously, some people will not think so. Some people like to keep it the same and be continuous, and I understand that, traditionalist out there. But we have to do something with this anti-counterfeiting, and it's nice to see real concrete evidence that this is moving forward, and so very, very overdue, in my opinion. So post your thoughts below about this news, about the American Gold and Silver Eagles changing their design for 2021 to implement these security devices. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.